So this is the Galaxy S7 Edge. It has a beautiful 5.5-inch display, a massive battery, and a really impressive camera, but what's it like using one? For starters, I really enjoyed the unboxing experience with this. The colors were extremely satisfying with the black, the silver, and that TLD blue. And popping the box open, bam bam, S7 Edge, which is cool because it's actually bigger this year, and a really weird looking SIM tool. You ever seen anything like that? We got a USB connector. If you just want one straight USB cable, they got you covered. Power brick, USB cable, and last but not least, these are some stealthy looking headphones, man. Oh, I just got psyched out, man. And what had happened was, for whatever reason, maybe it was the box color, I thought these were some matte black, super cool looking headphones, but in fact, they look really familiar. As far as sound quality goes, they sounded, yep, you guessed it, like stock headphones. EarPods sound better. Sorry. Now, is that a reason to base your decision off a phone to buy, which stock headphones sound better? Absolutely not.
100%.
No.
Yeah.
No. As far as what's new and how it differs from the S6 Edge, first off, we see a bigger display jumping from 5.1 inches up to 5.5. The resolution, however, still remains the same at 1440 by 2560, and that by no means is a bad thing. It still looks crisp as hell, but now with more screen real estate. Watching video, playing games, all look incredible, and Samsung is really making a strong case for having the best smartphone displays on the planet. Now, another huge change is the increase in battery capacity. With the S6 Edge, that came in at 2600 milliamp hours, but with the S7 Edge, that packs a monstrous 3600 milliamp hours, and that is what I call battery gains. We also see a slight bump in RAM with 3 gigs on the S6 Edge and 4 on the S7 Edge. Now, what may be considered the greatest comeback since Michael Jordan came out of retirement, micro SD card expansion is back. No longer do you get the various storage options like you did with the S6 Edge. There is one single 32 gigabyte model that can be expanded an additional 200 gigabytes with that micro SD card. There is also improved Edge functionality. It's cleaner, it's more intuitive, and really just taking advantage of that screen real estate in a more efficient manner. Lastly, on top of a bigger screen and internal changes, the entire feel of the S7 Edge has changed as well. The back of the S7 Edge is flat now, and in turn, that has raised the question.
Hey Jonathan, one thing that interests me is how the new design with the curved back enables it to be picked up off of the table more easily.
And surprisingly, that change made a big difference. It was easier to pick up the S7 Edge, and to me, that is awesome because it's not a benchmark, it's not a speed test, but rather it affects how you would use a product in your everyday life.
Hey John, what do you think of the new smaller megapixel count in the S7?
So that seems to be a major question with the S7 Edge, and S7 for that matter. Is the drop from 16 down to 12 megapixels considered a downgrade? Megapixels are not the most important factor when it comes to a camera. You have the sensor, the optics, the software, and what that's going to equate to is more autofocus points, which in turn leads to faster focusing. Picture quality, as you could hopefully see, is on point, and the amount of depth that I was able to pull out of this camera is just a little bit nuts. One thing that does leave a little bit to be desired is how choppy it can be when shifting exposure while recording video, but overall, again, Samsung has nailed it with the camera. The front-facing camera is solid as well, and I've always appreciated how wide the Samsung lenses are, which actually makes it useful for getting a shot with multiple people in there. As far as how much better it is compared to, say, the S6 or S6 Edge, it's not drastic, but if you're coming from anything prior, it is a huge upgrade.
I'm just curious about the always-on display. Does it just show the time and calendar and nothing else?
So this is actually one of my favorite features. We've seen similar things with Motorola, and the idea here is the only pixels you see are the only pixels powered on, and what this allows you to do is quickly check something like the time without actually powering on your screen and wasting battery life. You do have the ability to toggle this off if you don't like it, and as of now you can swap between a clock, a calendar, and an image, although I'm not exactly sure how useful always having stars on your screen is, but if this is something you want to do, this might be right up your alley.
Jonathan, do you think that the Samsung Galaxy S7 is fully waterproof to your capability?
So technically speaking, this is IP68 certified, which is awesome because Samsung was able to bring the waterproof element while still leaving an open USB port. But as far as how it stacks up against my waterproof capabilities, let's find out. The first test was a simple drop into water, and that handled it like a champ. I was actually really impressed to see video playing back while this was submerged in water. From there, I wanted to take it just a little further, so naturally it was time for the water gun test.
Oh, God.
And once again, it passed the test with flying colors. So if you had any doubts about the S7 Edge being waterproof, put those to rest. So overall, I've really enjoyed my first couple of days with the S7 Edge. For whatever reason, Samsung still can't seem to get rid of that apparent Samsung lag. It's not a slow phone by any means, but I do notice it. Battery life has been fantastic, and I really like the fact that Samsung has separated the S7 Edge from the S7, but with these two, there actually is a clear difference.
Hey, John. I was wondering how the S7 Edge fingerprint reader holds up against the iPhone 6s.
From what I've tested, both are extremely fast and really close to each other. But if you'd like to see a more detailed test on that, on performance, and a chance to win a Galaxy S7 or S7 Edge, my buddy Austin Speed Test Evans just dropped a video. Everything you need to know is down below. This is Jonathan, and I will catch you guys later.
Let's hear all about that waterproofness. Yeah, waterproofness.